There's a word everyone uses today, a word that defines who gets the job, who makes the friends, who owns the room, yet almost no one can actually define it. That word is vibe. Not atmosphere, not mood, not emotion, too shallow. Vibe is what your body knows before your brain starts explaining. You know exactly what it is when you feel it, and you know exactly when someone doesn't have it. But here is the strangest part. If you go to the best schools in the world, if you memorize all the textbooks, if you get perfect scores on every exam, none of that gives you vibe. In fact, the harder you try to study it, the further away it gets. Why is vibe never taught in school? Why do classrooms only offer concepts, structures, frameworks, methods, but never vibe? Because vibe cannot be standardized. It cannot be tested. It cannot be diagrammed. It cannot be explained into existence. It only lives inside ability. A few days ago, my family and I took my son to the Junior Theater Festival. For 3 whole days, we were completely submerged in it. Vibe. Every day. You might think vibe requires a massive crowd. You might think it only happens when 3,000 kids are in an arena screaming the lyrics to revolting children all at the same time. No, that is just a scale. Vibe can happen between 3 people or just 2. In fact, you have already experienced the highest, most concentrated vibe of your entire life. You just don't remember it. It was the first few months after you were born. Your parents spoke to you, but you had zero cognition, zero understanding of how the world worked. You didn't have words. You only had feeling. Every single day, the space around you was filled with the largest scale of pure vibe imaginable. But then you mastered your mother tongue. And the moment you did, you started to participate in explaining the world. And as you started explaining, the vibe began to weaken. It gets worse if you grow up to become someone who's overly skilled at explaining. If you rely entirely on logic, clarity, and defining everything, you will eventually lose the ability to feel the vibe at all. And even worse, you will never be able to produce it for anyone else to feel. How tragic. Have you ever wondered why? Why is it that the people with the most knowledge are often the most awkward, the most rigid, the ones with the least vibe? We are raised in a system that worships correctness, grammar rules, mathematical formulas, standardized tests, perfect pitch. The system tells you if you do exactly what the menu says, you will succeed. But vibe doesn't live in the menu. Vibe lives in the spaces between the rules. Let's look at language. I've seen students who have studied English for 15 years. They know words I've never used. Their grammar is flawless. Every sentence they construct is mathematically perfect. But when they speak to a native speaker, the conversation dies. It feels unnatural, robotic, exhausting. They have zero vibe. Why? Because they are not communicating. They are calculating. They are trying to be correct. Then you meet someone who barely knows 500 words. They make grammar mistakes. They stumble, but they look you in the eye. They smile at the right millisecond. They catch the rhythm of the room. And suddenly, everyone wants to talk to them. They don't have knowledge. They have vibe. And vibe wins every single time. It's the exact same thing in music. You can program a computer to play a piece of music perfectly on a beat. Every note exactly where the sheet music says it should be. It is completely flawless and it is completely dead. Then you listen to someone like B.B. King or a jazz musician in a dark club. They might play a note slightly late. They might bend a string a little out of tune. It is not correct. But your foot starts tapping, your head starts nodding, you feel it in your chest. That's groove, that's vibe. Where does that come from? It doesn't come from staring at sheet music. It comes from listening. It comes from feeling the space. It comes from being comfortable with the silence and reacting to the present moment. If you want to kill someone's vibe, do one thing. Ask them to explain exactly what they are doing. The moment you try to explain vibe, it vanishes. Because vibe is an ability. And as I've said before on this channel, ability cannot survive explanation. When you are acting on vibe, you are not thinking, you are not translating, you are not referring to a rule book in your head. You are simply existing inside the chaos and trusting your body to respond. But modern education, modern parenting, they hate chaos. We want to protect our children. We want to give them shortcuts. We want to explain everything to them so they don't have to struggle. We give them full schedules, clear instructions, and zero uncertainty. We strip away the fog. And in doing so, we strip away their vitality. We produce adults who look highly capable on paper, but who freeze the moment the script is thrown away. They have certificates. They have no vibe. And here is why this is no longer just a philosophical problem. It is a survival problem. We are living in the AI era. If your only value is being correct, if your only value is having knowledge, you are already obsolete. AI has perfect grammar. AI has flawless memory. AI can produce rules millions of times faster than you. AI is the ultimate straight A student. But AI has no vibe because AI has never been embarrassed. AI has never guessed wrong. Oh, hang on. AI often gets things wrong, but it has never felt its face turn red, right? AI has never had to survive in the fog of human interaction. Vibe is the biological residue of surviving uncertainty. It is the proof that you are alive. So how do you get it? How do you go from being a rigid, overeducated adult to someone with real ability, real flow, real vibe? You can't buy it. You can't read a book about it. You have to do the one thing you are terrified of doing. You have to lose control. You have to step into environments where your rules don't work, where your mother tongue can't save you, where the sheet music is gone. You have to allow yourself to be clumsy, to be wrong, to not understand. You have to stop trying to be correct and start trying to connect, because ability doesn't grow in the light of certainty. It grows in the fog. I'm Marcus. If you are tired of being correct and you want to start being capable, subscribe to this channel. Let's walk into the fog together. See you next time.